Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday today. So, the 2025 NFL draft class is stacked when it comes to the running back position. And one of the guys that I wanted to do a film review and breakdown today, not just somebody that I feel like would be an amazing fit for my Denver Broncos, but I think a lot of teams in the NFL, especially the way in which the running back position is being utilized in the NFL these days. And that guy is none other than the man TreVeyon Henderson. He's the running back out of Ohio State. He's a top 5 projected pick. This is somebody that he looks a lot smaller than his measurables actually are. And I'm really interested to see what he ends up being at the combine from a measurable standpoint. But he's standing at 5'10". I think he's going to be closer to about 5'9" and change. 208 pounds. I have it at 206, but 208 pounds. He's a really thicker, kind of stronger style back. I have him as my overall running back number 4 as it currently stands. But one thing I always try to tell people when it comes to the NFL draft is your team needs and what your team is looking for and the type of offense that they run can really dictate and change these rankings. So if you're talking about for my Denver Broncos, I would not rank him as running back number 4. I would probably put him a little bit further up in running back 2 or 3 category. And I think you guys will see a little bit of why that is. So let's get into some of the film. Before we do some of that, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you love Denver sports, if you love coverage about the Broncos, but during this beautiful draft season, if you love the NFL draft, man, I'm super excited to finally be doing a lot of this because really aside from my team being in the Super Bowl, there's nothing that I look forward to more than the NFL draft, the NFL offseason as a whole, especially with free agency as well. So I love this time of the year, man, and we're just getting started in it. So let's dive into it. All right, guys. So the first one that I have here, we're going to start off with a Tugalicious. All right, a nice little tutty. And this is going to be in the Oregon game. And what you're going to see is just elite lateral quickness, and he's got take it to the house speed. Not a lot of people really think about a back that's, 5'10", a little bit, it looks like he's a little bit shorter, but this dude has got house call ability, and I really love it from this angle. So what I want you to see is look at the jump cut 1, jump cut 2, and, a little bit of power there with the stiff arm and just taking it to the house. Nobody's going to catch him. And that's one thing I really loved about TreVeyon Henderson's game. Now, another thing that I think is super important to realize about this kid is, I'm putting together, I'm going to try to get some different examples of him actually in pass pro, but everything that you see, everything that you hear when it comes to him as a prospect on all the different, draft channels is he is the best pass protecting prospect to come out of college in the last decade. So he's got ridiculous pass pro ability, and that is obviously extremely important. Typically, it's a skill that running backs learn when they get into the NFL. But it's nice for someone like him because he's going to be able to contribute on an offense in a full-time role right away, specifically the Broncos. We're going to go to another clip here. Now, I love this one because you're going to see crazy good vision from TreVeyon Henderson here. So you're going to see that they're lined up here in the pistol and the gun, and he's going to take the ball. And when you're going to pause it here, you're going to see not really much going. He's going to have a nice quick bounce outside, beats the outside defender, turns it upfield, and finishes with some power. All right. So nothing crazy, but you look at the different traits. I try to make it to where you can see a little bit of semblance of everything. Smaller guy, that first one, makes some lateral cuts, takes it to the house. This one, you see the vision. You see he's extremely decisive. Doesn't really wait too much when not necessary. He reacts quickly, goes upfield. I'm gonna run that back again. Goes upfield, and then the way that he finishes is what I really, really like too. For somebody that thinks he's a smaller back, he's quick feet, boom, finishes right through the linebacker to go upfield, north-south runner. So he's showing a little bit of it. Going back to the clip here, this one's going to be, again, we're staying with the Oregon game in the Rose Bowl. And you're really going to love it from the next angle. But he's somebody that, man, north-south runner. Talk about, I only have one angle on here. I'm sorry. So we're going to run it back and see it again. It's first down and 10. He's going to get the ball. And he's just going to hit this hole. And look the way he finishes. Upfield, one cut, boom, all the way up. So someone that can really fit well in a power scheme as well. But I think he's an ideal fit in a Mike Shanahan zone, Kyle Shanahan zone type of scheme where, one cut and upfield, but he's shown a lot of the ability to be able to bounce it outside, to be able to play in a power run game as well. And then to add a little bit here to his repertoire, you'll be able to see he's got a little bit of pass catching ability, actually quite a bit of pass catching ability on here as well. They moved him outside. Yes, he's wide open, but he shows really, really good hands, being able to finish through that. So something to his game that I feel like you really got to love as well. And I'm a big fan of his overall skill set, because you talk about he's a good pass protector. You talk about he's somebody that has amazing contact balance, can run with power, really run through defenders. But man, he's got the sweetest feet, I think, maybe of anybody in this draft class. His ability to just cut laterally truly is special, and you'll see a little bit more of that. And this right here is another good example. So this is against Tennessee, I believe, and you'll be able to see just he's so smooth, he's so buttery, his ability to really take the ball, cut it outside, make defenders miss. I mean, it looks effortless. It really, really does look effortless. And I think on this one, I do have two angles, and you'll be able to see it really well on this one. But I mean, it's so smooth and quick, you don't even realize what he's doing. But when you see it at these other angles down here, yeah, this is it right here. So just watch this. You'll be able to see him take it. He hits the hole. One cut, boom. Another cut, bang. Making guys just fall. And then at that point, his stiff arm takes him to the house. He's way too quick and way too fast to be able to score. So you got to love that. You give him a little bit of space, he's a threat to take it to the house, but he's also a space creator, which is awesome. And then in situations like this, right? Same game here against Tennessee. And I'll have two angles at it. I'm going to let this run. I'm going to go to this angle over here because I like it more on the tight. I'm going to let it run, and then we'll kind of break it down a little bit. So listen, I get it, right? He ends up getting, I think, 4 or 5 yards on this carry, but he makes something out of nothing. So here's a great example. This is actually one of my favorite runs of all the different clips that I've looked of him, in these two games. But what I really like about it is here. So they motion him out. They're doing some fancy, some eye candy, which you got to love. But look, he takes it, and look at it here. There is nothing there. He cuts it back. Nothing there. He'll cut it back again. And he almost breaks it. But, man, he really makes something out of nothing. That's something that really should have probably gone for, just a couple yards. He ends up making some things. And even though on that particular one, he didn't end up breaking it, you can clearly see the vision. He's got a good mix of patience, being able to be really, really decisive. And, you see that all over his tape. And then for somebody that's 5'10", you don't really expect to see this kind of run finishing ability, right? He's going to take it. He follows his blockers. He cuts up field, sees the guys, jumps over them. No problem. So you talk about well-rounded and seeing everything. I really tried to get some clips from here, from these last few games that he had, to really showcase his entire skill set. He's got a pass catching ability. He's got the ability to pass pro, which I'm still putting together some film on that, because it's actually really tough in college to find film, especially around pass pro. But his speed, his power, and now his just pure athleticism, being able to jump and hurdle some guys. So those are just some things that you love. And I wanted to finish this up with what I think is a really special play. And this was in the semifinals last week against Texas. Taking the screen pass, and it's not the best angle, guys, so I do apologize. But my goodness, the kind of speed you see him put the jets on, and he is sayonara. He's probably going to be one of those guys at the combine where, if you ask me, I think he probably tests in the 4 or 5 range. But his 10-yard and his 20-yard split are going to be special, because as you can see from this angle, he's got this insane ability to put his foot into the dirt and get the top speed really, really quickly. He cuts here and boom, he's gone. And man, there's some angles of this run. I'm sure you guys have seen him all over YouTube. He looks like it's video game speed, to be honest with you. He's absolutely flying. So those are some things that you really, really got to love. Looking into this kid, man, he's just one of those guys that I feel, at least for the Denver Broncos, he fits in unbelievably well with what the Broncos are looking for. Because you look at this room, you've got a power guy in Audric Estime. I think Audric Estime is going to go into this offseason really given a good opportunity. to run the show. I think that they like what they've seen in him in a sense of his pass protecting ability. I think he's gonna cure a lot of those fumbling issues that he's had. So there's gonna be a lot more trust. He can be your bell cow kind of north-south runner, but somebody like a TreVeyon Henderson brings a very, very unique skill set that I think Sean Payton is really going to love, because he's somebody that you don't have to take out on third downs. You can trust him on first and second down. And he's just a lot more well-rounded. He's got a lot more explosive, take it to the house type of ability. And so one thing Sean Payton talked about was he did not like running three backs. The reason that he had to run three backs is because, man, Javonte wasn't really getting you anything in the run game. So you kind of used Jaleel to have some of that explosion. And then you utilized, Audric in those times where you needed to have more of a power run game. And then you brought in Javonte Williams when it came to pass pro. Well, you can eliminate that because this guy's got the ability to pass protect. He's got the ability to take it to the house and give you enough power. But he also, he's also can catch the ball to the backfield and do a lot of other things. And you can bring other backs to kind of complement him. So really interested to see. Now, in terms of the overall scouting report that I've got on him, what I will, this is kind of the grades that I have, and I'll kind of break a little bit of this down for you. So in terms of his speed, his just pure speed and his explosiveness, I got an A- in speed and an A in explosiveness. He really has take it to the house ability. I think if you kind of mold, what Jaleel McLaughlin does for this team, and you mix in a little bit of what you see from Audric Estime, that's what you're getting from TreVeyon Henderson, and some. So really love it. His hands, I'm going to give him a B+. He doesn't have too much tape on him catching the football. He seems like somebody that based off his stats and his ability to catch it, he's got decent hands, but I did see a couple of drops as well. So might not be the most amazing pass catcher, but I think he still got it. His change of direction is elite. He might be the best change of direction, lateral quickness type of running back in this draft class, point blank period, in my opinion. Even more than Ashton Jeanty. He just has a crazy ability to run low and cut. Man, it's special. And his contact balance is amazing too. Not quite Ashton Jeanty level, but he's got really good contact balance. He's got great vision. There's rare amounts of times where you'd be like, oh man, he really missed that hole. He's got an ability to see everything. His quickness is fantastic. Some of the red flags that we have here is the injury history. He doesn't have major injuries throughout his college career, but he does have a lot of those nagging ones that really do pop up. So that's something that I think is going to be really interesting for teams to look into the medical overall, because that is something that could knock him down a little bit on some teams' draft boards. Overall size, I'm going to give him a B+ just because of what the masses like to see from running backs. But to be completely honest with you, a guy that's about 5'9", 5'10", and low 200s, lower to the ground, thick build, that's my ideal type of running back. I love those types of guys because I feel like they're super tough to tackle and they're just tough as nails. And then as a receiving back, like I said, we're gonna not make him elite. He's gonna be in the B+ range. But my player comp for him, I really did see a lot of Maurice Jones-Drew. Now, I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be the next MJD, because MJD was special. But, man, he reminds me so much of him. His ability to, run through tacklers, his contact balance, his lateral quickness was really, really special. So I do see a lot of Maurice Jones-Drew when I watch him. And maybe it was the number 32 on his jersey that made me think he was kind of a little bit more like Maurice Jones-Drew. Another player comp that I would have him as is Chase Brown. Somebody that, has really had a breakout season with the Bengals. I don't know if he's a pass catcher like Chase Brown, but somebody that's, a really, really well-rounded player. And taking it back to here, like I said, I'll let you guys look at some of the pros and some of the cons. And I'm really curious to know, what do you guys think? What do you agree with me? What do you not? Did I miss anything? Let me know your thoughts on TreVeyon Henderson. I'm excited that tomorrow night we're going to have an opportunity to watch him play along with Quinshon Judkins. It's a hell of a running back combo that they have there in Ohio State on the national stage in the national championship game. So just keep an eye out, guys. If you're watching this before the national championship game tomorrow, keep an eye out on TreVeyon Henderson and watch Quinshon Judkins too, because he brings a lot more power, a lot more physicality to his game. But I really love kind of the jitterbug that this guy, TreVeyon Henderson, can do. So let me know what you guys think, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. These film reviews are something that's really new to me. So thanks for dealing with me. I hope that it was, useful to you. You guys found it to be helpful. And let me know if you guys, if there's any teams or any other players that you would like for me to do breakdowns, because I truly do enjoy them. They are a little bit of work, but and this being, maybe one day this will be a full-time job for me. But this is something that I really don't dedicate a crazy amount of time to in terms of this YouTube channel. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed every second of it. So let me know if there's anyone else that you guys want to see. I'm still really diving into the running backs, and then my the way that I'm going to look at it, I'm going to go tight ends. I'm going to do wide receivers. I'm looking at all the needs that the Broncos are needing. But really looking forward to it. Let me know if you guys want to see anybody else below, and let me know your thoughts below on TreVeyon Henderson. And yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. So I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Y'all have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy the divisional games. I know as Bronco fans it's tough, but enjoy it. Spend time with those that you love most. And until the next time,